Hello, this is Vicky Schettini, once again bringing boss ladies. And this time I have Reshma Baral. Has such a unique and great thing to share that will definitely empower women. Welcome to the podcast, Reshma.
Thank you so much for inviting me, Vicky. It's an absolute honor to be here in this podcast.
Well, thank you for coming. I was reading and then we got a chance to talk a little bit prior to start recording. And tell us about what exactly is it that you do?
Yeah, I am an abuse and trauma recovery coach. I work exclusively with women who've been through abuse and trauma in the past, and like you know how trauma and abuse affects us, various aspects of our lives, and I help them recover and become a more confident and get back into their normal path. That's what I do. And other than that, I'm also a chartered accountant, so I work as an accountant as well.
And that's completely two different fields. I'm,
Yes, they are.
I'm really intrigued on the victim and trauma and abuse. And the reason why I think us as women, and I know I mentioned this earlier, but women, we do try to put up front to try to keep the house going. Um, but certain things does affect us throughout life as we grow. And like I shared with you earlier, what was traumatic when I was a young child, my dad passing away, I noticed it's affected me my whole life. So, not that that's any severe on victims and trauma, but I can only imagine how difficult it would be. Do you find it that it's harder for women with trauma that have been through huge ordeals to actually come out and talk to someone?
Oh, yes, big time. All the women who've been through what abuse does to them is actually take their self-confidence and their self-worth away. So already they, like women, we struggle with lack of self-confidence, and already like our self-worth is less because we put more for others. We are more in a nurturing and giving side of things already. And what abuse does to them is like they just lose their personal self. They forget who they are eventually over time. And if it is a narcissistic person that they're dealing with, then they just totally forget what is the actual reality, and they start living in the world that the narcissist has created for them. So when they come out of this abusive relationship, which is like often when they hit the rock bottom, obviously they're totally shaken. They're in a shock, and they have lots of unprocessed negative emotions and limiting beliefs about themselves, that I'm not good enough, and I'll always attract a abuser, I'll never be in a relationship with anyone again, those things. And because of that lack of self-confidence and like not knowing your self-worth and everything, they're constantly in a like they always attract an abusive relationship again and again and again. So it becomes a pattern, and that's why it becomes like a big challenge for people, because I've had clients that have been in an abusive relationship continuously, one after another. And they're like, what am I doing wrong? Why do I just get attracted to these abusers? And I tell them, okay, this is the pattern that you've been running, and once you break that pattern, that's when you will not be attracted to them anymore. So yeah, obviously it affects them really, really big time.
You're not going to believe what I'm about to tell you. Um,
What is it?
but you just kind of opened some wounds for me. So, and it didn't even dawn on me till you started talking, and it just kind of brought some feelings up. On my last marriage, it was very narcissist. He was very narcissist, and slowly but surely, one day he would get mad about one thing, and you just make adjustments, and you're like, no big deal. It's just one thing. The next day is another thing. And the next thing is another thing until eventually you become someone that you don't even know.
Yep, 100%. So you
And
know what I'm talking about.
I know firsthand, and until you started talking, like it brought up all those feelings. And I'm like, wow, did I just kind of block them? Um, so it's a huge ordeal, and you make excuses. Other people see what's going on, but you make excuses, and you know the more excuses you make, and the more they tell, people are trying to tell you, the more excuses you make. So it is really, really difficult to get out of the situation, especially your self-esteem. Like for me, I had gained so much weight, and I didn't want to go anywhere. You don't. So what do you do for someone that is in that position right now? They feel stuck, like, a lot of it is, I didn't have money to leave. Where do you go? You don't have the confidence. You don't feel good about yourself. You may
Yeah.
or may not have kids. And then what do you do? So, can we help those who are living it right now? What is the first thing you would say to them?
The first thing I would say is to educate, like educate themselves and prepare themselves. So first thing is obviously awareness, right? So a lot of the women who are in abusive relationship, they don't even know that they are in an abusive relationship because they don't know what is right and what is wrong anymore. Like as you mentioned, like you were adjusting so much for the narcissist that you totally forgot who you used to be and you lost your self-esteem, right? So this is what happens with the victims of abuse, and that they just totally lose who they are. They don't know what is real, what is good, what is bad anymore, and they don't even know that they are in an abusive relationship because that's the new normal for them. And so first thing I would
Mm-hmm.
say is to educate themselves about what is a narcissist, what is abuse, like getting to know that what situation they are in, and also getting to know that there's what kind of help is available for them. And when you are educated, like your mind opens up to new ideas, and oh, okay, I'm not the only one here who's suffering like this. So this is not right. Whatever I'm going through is not right. And it opens up these ideas, and then like eventually they get the courage to say, okay, this is not right, and I have to leave. And then those who have already left, it's more about investing in your personal growth, because this is what has helped me personally, because I've been through abuse and trauma myself in the past. And what really helped me was my personal development journey. So I would listen to a podcast, I would read books, educate myself, and stuff like that. So during this journey, that is when I found out that I cleared everything that I had been carrying from the trauma for such a long time, and I cleared it, and that's why I wanted to help other women. So pretty much I would say is first educate yourself, and second is invest in your personal growth and development.
And that's great. That is really, really good, because it is true. You do need to find yourself again. You do. You become someone you don't even know. And thinking now, going back and thinking who I had become, I'm like, I don't even know how I got there. But really, it is kind of like they chip away little by little by little. Even in right down to the day where I decided enough was enough, I thought I was going to have a heart attack to actually go and do it. But, you find the strength somewhere. You find it and you go and you do it. And the feeling of being in your home, apartment, room, whatever it is, and not have to worry about pins and needles, I just can't even explain it. That
Yep.
you just kind of lived on those with those pins and needles constantly, that it's overwhelming. um wow, this is amazing. Anything that we can do now, do you have any like groups that people can join, or somewhere that they can talk to you? And how would someone be able to get a hold of you?
Oh, yes. I have a profile in Facebook and Instagram, and so people can reach out to me if they look up for Reshma Baral. In Facebook, they will find me. And also, my business page is Coach for Life. So, coach and the number 4 and life. So, I have a website as well. So, anyone can go to coachforlife.com.au. That's my website. And also, I'm running a group. The group's name is called Changing Her Story. So yeah, if people wanted to be in touch with me and learn and like get more information about abuse, and because I post a lot of educative as well as inspirational materials in my group. So if someone wanted to be a part of that, they're more than welcome to join my group Changing Her Story as well in Facebook. So yeah, that's the best way to contact me, I'd say.
So you are on Facebook, both of them, right? Change for Life, and then
Um,
changing her story.
yeah, Coach for Life and Changing Her Story.
I'm sorry,
Yeah, and also
Coach
I
for
have a
Life.
personal page called Reshma Baral, so you could find me there as well.
Perfect, perfect. Well, this sounds amazing. I would definitely be referring you more things, and again, I would like to invite you into the women's group because I think um, sometimes you pinpointed it. You don't realize the trauma, you don't realize the abuse, you forget. And education is key to being able to go and just do, do what you were meant to do. And I'm a strong believer that everything kind of happens for a reason. That's why, we all go through things to be able to help other people.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
life always happens to you and not no life. Sorry, life always happens for you and not to you. So this is the vision that you need to have. So everything that's happening in the life at the moment is happening to make you a better person and make your life a better in a better situation. So I like it's about seeing the positives in the negative situation as well. So yeah, absolutely, I'm with you there.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Do you mind if I use that? I love that saying.
Yeah, sure.
Love it. Well, beautiful. Thank you so much for coming on. I will definitely make sure you follow her. Can you repeat all your information again so someone that's may not have time to write it or may not have had a pen, that way they can write it in?
My story, or what do you
No, no,
mean?
no, the contact in your group. If you
Yes,
can
that's
repeat
right. Okay.
everything again.
Yeah, so my personal Facebook page is Reshma Baral. So if you type in Reshma Baral in Facebook, you'll find me. And also, I am running a group in Facebook called Changing Her Story. So that is the group of ladies that where I post all the informative and inspirational posts for all the ladies who've been through abuse and trauma. And also, I have a business page called Coach for Life. So Coach and number 4 and Life. So that's what it is. So yeah, you can reach me out
Beautiful.
in those areas, and I'm also in Instagram. Sorry, so I'm also on Instagram, and my profile name is Coach for Life Reshma. So yeah, you'll find me there as well.
So just keep in mind it's coach for the number 4 life.com
.au.
and then .au. So
Yes.
beautiful. We're gonna also add a link here because this does get shared to social medias, not just podcasts, but social medias too. So we will go ahead and add links to this podcast. But amazing. Thank you for coming. And I think all women should definitely take advantage. Join the group. Join. There's always something you can do to improve, and the more confident you are, the better you that you can become. So it's really important, and sometimes you are opening wounds. As you were speaking, I started bringing up some wounds that they kind of got boxed away somewhere.
Yeah.
So I fully understand what's going on, and it's hard. It's something that we have to face, but the sooner you face things, the better you will be. So, I mean, it's amazing that you're out there and helping women to be able to become a better person.
Yes, thank you so much, Vicky. On the note that you said, like, you know how you said that boxed away, something was boxed away, and then like when I brought it up, it kind of triggered you, and it happens on a massive scale for the victims of trauma, and especially long time abuse. So that's what I do, like, and I'm really proud of my work, and I because I have clients who are really happy with the service and everything. So I know the importance of like healing it at a deeper level, and that's what I do. And yes, if anyone has that kind of issues that they have boxed up at somewhere without having faced them and dealt with them, then definitely it needs to be faced and dealt. Otherwise, it will come up and show up in your life in various levels as a limiting belief or as a PTSD and anxiety and stuff like that. I know it shows up in your relationship with everyone. It's everyone. It shows up in your relationship with yourself, how you deal with things as well. So yeah, it shows up in a lot more way than what you can imagine. But absolutely loved being here. Thank you so much for allowing me to be here and share my story and share my message to the world. I really appreciate it.
Well, no, thank you so much. And yes, I mean that's really what it is. And when I first started talking to you, it didn't even cross my mind, my history or anything like that. It wasn't until you started bringing out the women's feelings and things like that, and it automatically came up. And now I can see a lot more. So yes, it does affect, and and I'm always about getting self-help, getting anything that we can do to improve ourselves, right? And having things, we make decisions according to our history. Sometimes if we don't take care of the issue, right, it will affect us. It will affect us in many different areas. So I think it will be great. Again, I'm going to put a link to how to get a hold of Reshma here, because I think this is really powerful and it will be good. Let's all, beginning of the year, let's do it right.
Exactly. Let's do it right.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Reshma, for coming, and it was great speaking with you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Vicky. I hope to speak to you soon.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye.